Hello everybody and welcome to the Year 8 options process for Pathway A students. I'm Mr. North and I'll be taking you through this short presentation to give you all the information you need to support your sons or daughters in making their options choices. Some of you may be wondering why we start our options process so early, because it's a year before most of the schools make their options choices. However, at Baysgaff we believe it's absolutely the right thing to do for our students, because we do something a little bit different to what other schools do. Yes, we're one of the best performing schools in the area, top 5% in terms of progress compared to other schools nationally, and we're really proud of that. And we never ever move away from our focus on academic results, because we know that's the most important thing students can leave school with. But we also really have a focus on our curriculum and trying to engage students, which I'll talk about now. And that's because we have our Year 9 Gateway curriculum. And this is different to all other schools pretty much that I'm aware of. It's something that's unique to Baysgaff and something we are very proud of. Essentially what we do is we cover all of the national curriculum content that the government wants us to do in Year 7 and Year 8. And we start our GCSE content in Easter in Year 9, which gives us 2 full terms in Year 9 after our students have picked their option choices to focus on the stuff that we want to teach. It is the most exciting stuff that teachers can think of, the most innovative. We really think it's crucial to get students to really love a subject, because some of the GCSE content they have to do isn't the most exciting parts of that subject. So we really try and bring the subjects to life by empowering our teachers to teach the best parts of their subject and demonstrate skills and get that interest going early on in the subject. So just to recap some of the reasons why we do the Gateway curriculum. Well, it increases the breadth of the curriculum beyond the limitations of the national curriculum and the GCSE specifications, because we get to do those extra 2 terms delivering things that we are really passionate about. It also allows students to sample what the subject is like before they start the GCSE content, which means actually the options process runs all the way up to Easter in Year 9, because I allow students to move freely between subjects if they think that they're doing a subject that actually they're not going to enjoy moving forward. So it removes that anxiety and those pressures from students. It also allows us to focus on employability skills, because what we do, what underpins the Gateway curriculum, is 10 employability skills. We've gone to major employers and we've found out exactly what they're looking for. So we focus on key things like communication skills, being able to work independently, teamwork, numeracy. So in every subject we're focusing on 3 different skills that we're trying to develop, and that's what we report back to parents at the start of Year 9 on how well they're doing on this. We also give the students more opportunities to go on visits, getting experts, just really trying to inspire them and expose learners to the best of each subject. So it's something we're incredibly proud of, and the students absolutely love. The student surveys for the last 2 years have been wonderful, the results for this. So it's something that we're going to run again this year, and it's something we hope your sons and daughters will very much enjoy. So as we start the GCSEs in the Easter of Year 9, you will start to get grades reported home to you that you may not be familiar with. So they've been around for a few years now, but the government decided a couple of years back to change to a 1 to 9 system. And you may be more familiar with the old A star to G system. There are a few matching points essentially. So a grade 7 is the same as a grade A, and a grade 4 is the same as a grade C. But then some of the other points get a little bit of a change, I suppose. So there's almost an A star grade now for students that get 9s, and the grade 5 and the 6 is a bit of an overlap grade between the old C and B borderline. The government's good pass standard is a grade 5. That's what they hope all students aspire towards. But I suppose the most important grade for the students around the country is that grade 4, because it's that grade 4 that you need to get in English and maths in order to not have to resit it when you go to college. But thankfully, like I said, we're way above national averages when it comes to that in terms of the progress our students make, so they will be in safe hands. So this is the what's going to be happening in terms of the options process. So on Friday in school, on the 21st of January, so when you're listening to this, this will have already happened, students will have done their options fair. That is just essentially they get to go around, visit lots of different rooms in the school, all the different subjects, and just get more information. That might be a little 5-minute talk from the teacher, it might be a handout, just to help them shape their choices when it comes to making their taster sessions choices. And that will be happening on Wednesday the 26th. So these are just 4 taster sessions in subjects that they've not studied before. For example, studies like business studies, child development, media, things that you don't experience in Key Stage 3. And you'll be obviously getting all the information, the website, so there's chances for students to find out and make their option choices, which need to be submitted by the 27th of February. And you'll be contacted after that with the details of the option choices, and it will be confirmed in letter. But just remember, I suppose, that even though you will have your option choices confirmed by letter, students can come in the rest of year 8 and still come and see me and email me and let me know if they've changed their mind. And all the way through year 9 up until Easter, students can move freely. So the pressure around options that exists in other schools doesn't exist in Baysgaff, because we have that flexibility and that freedom to move. There are 3 different pathways. We keep it very simple here at Baysgaff, and your son or daughter has been selected for pathway A. Essentially, that is a triple science pathway. So what the process was, Miss Dolby, who is the head of science, has liaised with her team, looked at all of the assessment data in science, and she has picked the 55 students that she thinks would be most able to handle the demands of the triple science pathway. Now, that doesn't mean your son or daughter is fixed on this pathway. If they decide to move to pathway B, they have that choice to do so. There is no fixed pathways for anybody, but it's just our recommendations. The reason why we recommend triple science for your son or daughter is because it's a very difficult course. The demands are high. There are 6 exams. They're 1 hour and 45 minutes each, and it will be 7 hours weekly. You will do science in school, so it takes up an option choice. But what it means is you get 3 separate science GCSEs. You get physics, chemistry and biology. Whereas on the other pathway, students just get 2 science GCSEs. So this is a very academic pathway. It's very challenging, very difficult, but very rewarding. Students do very well on this pathway, because they have already been assessed, and we know that they will be able to cope with the academic demands. I suppose it just boils down to, does that match the desires of the student in terms of, do they want lots of science on their timetable, or would they prefer to have just 2 science GCSEs, and therefore they would gain an extra option. And I'll talk to you about what it means if you're a pathway A student now. Before I get on into the ins and outs of the pathway A, I just need to talk about the English Baccalaureate Award. So the EBAC, as it's shortened to, is something the government set up. It's to really push students down the main subjects that they deem are the most valuable, I suppose. So in order to get the EBAC, and it's a bit of a myth, students expect to get a certificate, and you don't. You just get this. You don't get any reward or any recognition as such. But they want students to do English, maths and 2 sciences, which is compulsory anyway, or a minimum of 2 sciences, a language and a humanities subject. And if you do that and you achieve well in them, you would tick the EBAC box, as it were. It's more of a measure for schools, actually, in terms of, because the government has set a target, they want lots of students to do this, so it's more of a measure of how many students in each school are doing this award. There's no intrinsic reward for these students to take away. What it does mean, though, is that if students do this, they walk away with a good set of GCSEs, and they are, without doubt, some of the most challenging GCSEs. So it does look good for colleges and employers. But in terms of the value to the actual student, apart from that, in terms of what it looks like on a piece of paper, there's no actual reward as such. And what we've decided to do as a school, as in forcing students down this route, is not something we believe in. One of our key pillars in this school is all about well-being, and we are much happier knowing that students are happier in their option choices, because for the remaining time they're at Baysgaff, rather than being pushed down a road they're not particularly happy walking down. And I'll pick that up a little bit on the next slides. So it goes without saying that not every subject is optional. Some students think the options process means they can drop English, maths and science, but unfortunately for those students it doesn't, because there are some compulsory elements that are set in stone, and it's law that we've got to follow them, and rightly so. So we will be following English, maths, science, and an hour of PE, as well as a bit of RE as well. But at some schools, an options process, it really isn't much of an options process at all, because they will make students do the triple science, which takes up an option pick. They will make them do geography and history, and their options choice will be, do you want to do French, German or Spanish? That will be the options process. However, we absolutely do not believe in that model here at Baysgarth. We believe, we encourage students, especially on pathway A, to do a triple science. We think it'd be a good idea if you did geography or history in a language if you wanted to, because it would look good on your CV, which would give you one option choice. But we absolutely do not make that compulsory. So, because you're our triple science students, you have three completely free option choices. So you will do your English, maths, your science, and your PE and your RE, but then after that you have choice. All right, you get as much choice as everyone else in the rest of the school. We are not forcing you down a road that you don't want to go to. Now, if you want to pick history, geography, and German, that's great. You can do. If you want to do German, French, and geography, you can do. You have our full support. Whatever you want to do, you have that choice. However, if you want to go down a completely different route though, and pick 3 subjects that are not those, again, you can do that. It's whatever works best for you based on where you want to go with your life, your career objectives, or subjects that you think are going to excite you and inspire you in school. So we support that. So just to recap then, this is what we would recommend based on the government guidance of the EBAC. So pick one from geography or history. That would be a good move, and then pick a language, and then you get one other choice. However, it's only a loose recommendation. Really, we want you to do what makes you happy, and that you're going to be comfortable studying for the next 3 years in school. So what your actual choice is, you just need to pick 3 from this list. So we have art, business, childcare, engineering, food, French, geography, German, graphics, hair and beauty, health and social care, history, IT, media, music, performing arts, dance, performing arts, drama, photography, RE, sports science and statistics. I'm incredibly proud of the amount of option subjects we offer. Students at Baysgarth have a much broader range of choices and a much broader curriculum than any other school in this area, and that's something we are really, really proud of. While other schools are shutting down the arts, we're developing the arts, and it's growing from strength to strength. Subjects like hair and beauty, subjects like health and social care don't necessarily run in other schools, and we're very proud that they do. So your option choices, it's down to you to pick the 3 that you think will be most suitable for you as a learner. So how to make the right decision? First of all, I'm speaking to the students right now, and parents, please encourage them to do this. It's your decision, so you've got to do your research. Speak to parents, speak to friends, speak to tutors, speak to teachers. The most important people to speak to, I suppose, are year 9s and 10s, and maybe year 11s, because they're currently doing these options, and they'll give you the honest feedback. Teachers are all biased, let's be honest. They all love their subject. They all think their subject is the best. So speak to the students, get the real feedback from them, and that'll be a big help for you. Have a look at the options information on the website. There's videos from each member of staff. There's lots of information there as well. And we've got Miss Stewart, our careers advisor. If you need any advice, if you've got a particular career in mind and you want to know what combination of subjects are best, then please do it. So please ask for an appointment with her. And again, just discuss with everybody, but remember that whatever you decide and whatever option subjects you pick, you might need to be a little bit flexible, because not all option subjects will be available depending on how things are blocked. For instance, we have 4 blocks running on the timetable. If you do a subject like business, it's incredibly popular and gets like 6 option groups. There's loads of flexibility there. You'll definitely be able to do it. Whereas if you picked, say, hair and beauty and another subject like music, for example, that only has one group and they ended up in the same option block, what that would mean is you would have to pick one or the other. All right, so it doesn't happen very often, that, but it will affect maybe 10% of students. They will have to go to a reserve choice. So just be aware of that, so take care over your reserve choices as well. So I covered point 1 on the last slide, but you can select a second humanities subject if you want, so you can do history and geography, and just to reiterate the fact that you can do German and French as well if you wish. You are free to do so. Some restrictions are on some other subjects though. The government have deemed art and graphics are too similar in their skill set, therefore you could only do one of those subjects, so it's either art or graphics. And likewise with performing arts, I know my head's covering over part of the slide, but performing arts drama and performing arts dance, again, very similar specifications, so you can't do both of those, it's one or the other. So that's art and graphics and drama and dance. You can only do one of those in those combinations. So all of this information will be emailed out to you and will be explained, but I'll just go over it briefly. So log on to the options website, which is below, but it will be sent to you, as I said. So once students are registered, they'll be familiar and they'll know how to do this one. And they'll probably pick their taster sessions in school, but they can do it over the weekend as well. And it's the same system for actually picking the tasters and the real options, so that'll be really, really helpful. And what it looks like is something like this. So you'll see all of the option choices that are available. Because you're a triple science student, you'll automatically get one of them as triple science at the top there, and then you will get 3 other option choices. And I believe you pick them in order to get, so we know which ones are most important to you. And it looks something like this. So triple science is locked in as number 1. So first pick for this student was IT, then business, and then drama, with 2 reserve choices in order of preference, hair and beauty and food. So for example, if drama and IT were in the same option block, so drama would be the one that you wouldn't be able to do, so then you could go to a reserve choice. However, like I said, this is a very big year group with lots of students, the biggest year group we've ever had to go through the options process. So the chances are we'll have more groups running, so much better chance of, or much reduced chance of option clashes happening. But if these do, we will be in touch with parents and students to talk you through them. And once you finish selecting your options, you just click the save button and you can log in anytime before the deadline to make changes to your choices. And really, all you need to do after the deadline's passed is come and speak to me in school if your son or daughter would like to change their option subjects anywhere, because like I said, nothing's locked in. There's lots of flexibility built into the system. So once we've got all of those options choices in, we run it through a computer system and it will put together the best combinations which reduce the amount of clashes in the system. However, it will not guarantee everybody can get on their first choice courses, so we will then speak to the students that can't get their first choice options. Like I say, it's not a big number, and we'll send the confirmation of choices after we've sorted all of those clashes out to parents, so you've got that information to hand. Now that's all of the information about the options process covered. If there's anything else you need to know, feel free to contact me at the school. I'll be happy to talk over it with you. And if you think that maybe your son or daughter maybe wants to move on to the other pathway, again, you can watch the video on pathway B, see how it differs, and get in contact and we'll be happy to make changes. But it'd be silly of me not to talk about my own subject while I've got your attention, and that's business studies. So business studies is the most successful subject in the school in terms of student numbers and in terms of outcomes. We cover 3 units in our course, which is a wide range of things. We look at 2 different businesses, we go on trips. We also teach students how to be an entrepreneur, come up with their own ideas, and they have to put a presentation together. The exam also covers marketing, promotion and finance. So it's a really good course to prepare students. I suppose it's a good option choice to keep your options open, because if you're not sure what you want to do, business is invaluable in a number of different pathways for students. We also teach valuable life skills such as interview technique and how to be successful in applying for jobs, and it is in the top 5 most popular degree subjects in the UK and a top 5 subject in terms of future income from employment. So it's something we really encourage students to get into. I suppose just a few reasons why we think students should pick business, or we'd encourage them to do. Our results are in the top 1% when compared to other schools nationally. We are the most popular option choice, which means you're almost certain to get business as a choice. We do trips in 9, 10 and 11. We get specialist speakers into school. We try and bring the subject to life. We've got a really experienced teaching team, 2 assistant heads, myself and Mr. Roberts, both been here 8 years now, no intentions of going anywhere else. We have 60% coursework, which we can control, and we have a 40% exam. So students get to sit this exam twice with the best grade counting. And we try and get this exam done early. And what we actually do is we manage to get students 2 exam GCSE equivalents when we do business studies. Currently my year 11s have got business studies finished, completed already because we're efficient, and they've also got a level 2 qualification, GCSE equivalent in finance. So really valuable, something that Wyke value, John Leggett value, and I've had emails, because we've been doing this a while now, from some of my former students that have gone on to work at top accountancy firms at some of the best universities, continuing down this pathway. So we're really, really proud of what we do. And again, we hope your son or daughter considers business as an option choice, because it is a really good option choice. And even if you don't take a career in business as such, we're going to teach you some of the life skills along the way that can be helpful, that will be really helpful regardless of what you end up doing. So thank you for your time, and just to reiterate, if you need to get in contact with me, please do so via my email, andrew.north@baysgarthschool.co.uk, or request a phone call. Thank you.